2017 movie reviews. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Life, Hush. The Autopsy of Jane Doe, John Wick 2. Life. Gravity meets Alien in this sci-fi horror flick starring Ryan Reynolds, Rebecca Ferguson, and Jake Gyllenhaal. A team on the International Space Station are studying samples from Mars when they find a living organism among them, a microscopic single-cell life form that confirms the existence of life elsewhere in the universe. Of course, being that sort of movie, it doesn't stay microscopic for long. This is a terrific, intense, exciting and scary SF chiller that I really enjoyed and seems to be very underrated by sad fanboys who think we can't possibly have another monster on a spaceship movie even though Alien was nearly 4 fucking decades ago. I mean, for fuck's sake. Goodness me, I saw this the same week as I saw The Wonderful Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember the last time I went to the cinema twice in 1 week, and really enjoyed them both. This is going to ruin my reputation as a grumpy old fart, but I'm still giving life a very positive A-. Hush. A deaf woman living in the country becomes the target of a sadistic killer in this gripping horror thriller from writer-director Mike Flanagan, Oculus, Ouija, Origin of Evil. This movie is a lean, mean exercise in nerve-wracking suspense and tension from my favorite modern horror director and genuinely had me on the edge of my seat. Cracking stuff. Another real gem from Flanagan. I give this a very high A-. Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This was a pretty good sequel. Probably not quite as good as the first but still pretty solid for the most part, and still the only series within these endless comic book movies I find particularly appealing. Kurt Russell was great, and I was happy to see Karen Gillan getting a bigger role too, and even some quasi-redemption for her character as well. Overall this was very entertaining and a great deal of fun, and I give Guardians of the Galaxy 2 a solid B+. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. A father and son coroner team stay late to do an autopsy on the dead but seemingly untouched body of a young woman found in a house where everyone else was killed in very violent fashion, but soon find she may be more than she appears. Brian Cox stars in this horror flick that seems to have gotten a lot of very good reviews, but, even in spite of the presence of the lovely Olivia Lovibond, in all honesty I found this dreary, depressing, not scary and as boring as fuck. I lost interest well before the end and can only give this a D. John Wick 2. The first John Wick was a pretty solid flick, and this sequel got good reviews from most places, so I was expecting this to be just as good, but I'm afraid I was actually extremely disappointed by it. The action is well staged, if a bit too well staged at times, as in, very obviously choreographed, but the plot and characterization are even thinner than the first one. I just found myself not particularly giving a crap about any of it in the end and came about thinking bleh. The second biggest disappointment of the year after Split. I can't give John Wick 2 anything other than a D. As of the current time, my favorite film of the year so far remains Beauty and the Beast.